In tonight's video, we're looking at one of the most dangerous flashpoints on the planet right now, the rapidly escalating conflict between the United States and Iran, centered around the narrow waters of the Strait of Hormuz. What began as a clash over shipping lanes and oil flows has now turned into open warfare and explicit threats to destroy civilian infrastructure deep inside Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical maritime chokepoint, where a significant share of the world's traded oil passes through a channel only a few dozen miles wide. In recent weeks, Iranian forces and proxy militias have repeatedly targeted vessels in and around this area, using missiles, drones, and other weapons to send a clear signal to Washington and its regional allies. Each strike has not only raised insurance costs and pushed up global oil prices, but also increased the risk that one miscalculation could trigger a much wider regional war. In response, the United States has carried out night after night airstrikes against Iranian military targets, saying its goal is to degrade Iran's ability to threaten shipping and U.S. forces. American officials insist they are focusing on command centers, missile sites, and suspected nuclear facilities, while denying Iranian claims that they are deliberately hitting civilian infrastructure. But on the ground, the lines between military and civilian can be thin, and every new strike feeds a narrative in Tehran that this is an existential fight, not a limited operation. The clearest sign of escalation has come directly from President Donald Trump, who has moved beyond traditional military targets and is now threatening Iran's bridges and power plants. On his social media platform, Trump has warned that from this point forward, every time Iran fires at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether with a missile, rocket, drone, or any other device, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or one power plant in Iran, including sites near or within the capital city, Tehran. This is a dramatic shift because bridges and power plants are not just symbols of state power. They are the backbone of daily life for millions of civilians. Targeting them raises serious questions about proportionality and potential violations of the laws of war, even as Trump has publicly signaled that he is not at all worried about accusations of possible war crimes in this campaign. At the same time, he has hinted that he has not yet decided whether to finish off Iran entirely, suggesting that even more extreme options remain on the table if Tehran refuses to change course. Iran has not taken these threats lightly. Semi-official media have quoted military sources promising an in-kind response. If the United States strikes Iranian bridges or energy infrastructure, Iran will retaliate by hitting infrastructure and energy facilities across the region in which Washington and its allies have major interests. That could mean pipelines, ports, refineries, and power grids in Gulf states, all of which are tightly integrated into the global energy market. This tit-for-tat logic creates a dangerous spiral. One ship attacked, one bridge destroyed, one regional energy facility hit. Each step raises the stakes and makes it harder for either side to back down without appearing weak at home. Meanwhile, the human cost is already visible, with American soldiers killed in combat, solemn repatriations taking place back in the United States, and civilians in Iran bracing for possible blackouts, infrastructure damage, and a deepening economic crisis. For the rest of the world, this is not a distant firefight. It is a direct threat to economic stability and energy security. Any sustained disruption in the Strait of Hormuz or in the wider Gulf energy infrastructure can send shockwaves through global markets, fueling inflation and undermining fragile recoveries in multiple regions. U.S. allies now face a delicate balancing act: support Washington's pressure campaign against Iran's nuclear and regional ambitions, while urging restraint to avoid a full-scale regional war. As this crisis unfolds, one question hangs over every decision. Where's the red line, and who will cross it first? Will these threats remain a tool of pressure, or will bridges and power plants actually go dark under American bombs, triggering the retaliatory strikes Iran has promised? We will be tracking every major development in this story, so if you want clear, global-focused breakdowns of geopolitical crises like this one, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell us in the comments, do you think this confrontation ends at the negotiating table or on the battlefield?